Oh, hang on. Hang on. I've got some iPad on. Hang on, it hasn't started yet. Wait. It's fine. It's fine, I've been doing this for 2 years now. It's DataGovTube. It's maybe Unity. This is fine. There we go. I'm alive. Salutations, my fellow dandies. It's me, Jack Dandy, and we are back in Final Fantasy XIV. Fancy a break from Star Wars. It's not true, actually. I'm really looking forward to playing more Star Wars tomorrow. But I did want to play some Final Fantasy, because I kind of want to finish Shadowbringers before Zelda comes out next week. I don't know whether that's possible. There's not much left. I think there's 11 quests left. But I need to also do the class missions, which I think is like 6 or 7 quests. I reckon it's probably about 3 streams worth. I mean, it might be... Well, let's see. I mean, it definitely doesn't help that I'm starting at 10 o'clock because I had some work to do, unfortunately, that I had to finish today. So I was working until about 8:30 and then I had dinner. So that hasn't helped. But I mean, maybe these will be really short missions, you know? Like, yeah, no one wants like a really dragged out finale. It's probably all like a couple of lines of dialogue for each mission. So let's crack on. We defeated the final Light Warden, old Vor 3, old Jabba the Hutt. I couldn't contain the light, as it turns out, and so the light has spilled back out, and everything's all illuminated again, and I'm dying of like light poison. So, you know, that's cool. I mean, like I said, I guess it can't get any worse. You'd hope. Oh, sir, you're awake. You were injured during the foray on Mount Gulg, yes? I was here at my station, as always, when they carried you in on a makeshift stretcher looking disturbingly bereft of vigour. And to compound my worry, the sky has, well, I'm sure you've seen, it has everyone rather concerned, to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you perhaps consider a stroll around the city to reassure our anxious citizens? Braggy was one of those who helped convey you to your chambers, and he has visited several times since to inquire after your condition. Ah, yes. Braggy. My old friend Braggy. That guy, that Braggy, that fella, him, the incredibly recognizable Braggy, were you the guy whose wife was I died getting a stone? Well, look who's back from... Oh, no, they have a kind of... Well, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. Then they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor Exarch away in the midst of the crisis, in the chaos. Wicked white, what is this world coming to? Oh, so the Exarch's been pinched as well. I guess that's so we couldn't heal him. Bah, but moaning never sort of thing, did it? Nay, it's times like these as we Crystarium folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade with Yulmore is back on the table. We'd best make use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the fates deemed fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Jessamine was worried thick about you. A healer ring in her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, let me tell you. I remember... It's probably Chesame? Not rather than Chesamil. She's the healer lady. I kind of remember her. She's in the clinic over here, I think. Yeah, I know who this is. Hi. Oh, sweetie, you're alive. No one's been allowed to see you. Even Spaggeric Kyurgens were forbidden from making visits. Oh, heavens. Ryan was kind enough to tell you... Rain. I keep forgetting how her new name's pronounced. Rain. I think it's Rain. Rain was kind enough to tell you that you were showing symptoms similar to ether corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I worry to see their faces grown ever more haggard every time they pass through the crystarium. I should let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse of exhaustion. And our own Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. I don't know why, the man's a moron. Do I have to speak with Moron? I do have to speak with Moron. Excellent. I remember him. He's the one who keeps showing me picture books because he thinks I'm an idiot. And he is right. Because if he gave me lengthy explanations of everything, I would not listen. But he showed me a pic... Yeah, that... Stop locking onto the guy over there. If he gave me lengthy descriptions of things, I absolutely would not take the information in. But a picture book I can manage. So he's absolutely right to show me a 3-page picture book anytime I want to learn anything about anything. Sup, moron? Confounded. This says the same thing as the last. Maybe I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Jack, is it truly you, and not some figment of my imagination? Oh, but this is wonderful. It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the light wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definitive conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you're awake, however, I am hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Katniss, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle, although against what foe we are yet uncertain. What a pyrrha visit! I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Do you know, normally when people are sick, you come and visit them? No, you don't make the sick person run over the entire, facility visiting everyone else. No, it's fine though. I think it's good to get some exercise. What's up, Katniss? Jack, alive and well, I see. You gave us all a proper fright, you know that? Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying what's to become of you or the Exarch. How long was I out for? Anyways, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, maybe I'd... Look at my hair. Do you think I need a helm? Then maybe you would have won the day and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still for a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. I mean, do I get some new gear out of this? That'd be quite nice. Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we'd need to experiment with different patterns and materials, and I'm not sure we have that kind of time. So, sorry, no free armor for you today. That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. It's him! Greetings, Gilnard. The Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Oh, maybe I haven't met this guy. Oh, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is. I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. Don't mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies are the perfect answer to this predicament of yours. And my genius, you mean Grenold? He is a man of unrivaled gifts, I won't argue with you there. But what good does his talent do us if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide nor hair of Grenold since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is someone you're destined to meet, I'll wager he'll show up soon enough. In my times at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters. Even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. Hey, salutations, Briar. This is weird-looking Jedi Survivor DLC, you're right. They had a patch the other day, and the frame rate has improved, but everything else has all gone a bit weird. But look at my robes, aren't they lovely? They have tassels. Hope you're well and dandy and fine, and a fourth thing that's also good. We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Grenell, it'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh? No, I'm fine. I mean, I am dying, but I'm also fine. I mean, surely the longer I take, the more I'll die, so I should probably act. And this is probably as good as I'm going to get. Before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well. If you're passing near the stairs, there are a few regulars I'd like to introduce you to. Nod. I'd best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit, now does it? Here, we can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded, or the exile might not have much of a home to return to. You are. I'm glad to hear it. I am too, yes. Busy day at work, but then I had a lovely fish and homemade fish and chips with curry sauce. So I am topped out at the moment. Okay, well, I mean, if the other 10 missions are all as short as that, maybe we will finish Shadowbringers. Just had to go run around and talk to a couple of people. Jack, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Oh, you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This downable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. Take a moment to feel the wind upon your face. This doesn't feel like a quest. I'm gonna be honest. It's not exactly up there with, oh, go and fight a dragon, or save a nation from the Empire. But, you know, I suppose they can't all. Not every quest can be save the world. Sometimes you do just need to take a breather. Actually, that's actually good mental health advice. Go and touch grass, feel the wind on your face, and then disappear indoors before anyone sees you, and or you see anyone else, so you don't get any diseases. Because it's one thing. Self-care is the most important quest, exactly, but you don't want to catch a cold. I really hope it is actually windy, because every time it's windy in this game, my pompadour just blows into my face. And it looks all sad. It's happened, only like 2 or 3 times, but enough times that I look forward to happening.
Spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight.
It's my invisible friend. Definitely not imaginary.
I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
Yeah, I imagine you can, considering you was the one who caused it the first time. Secrecy is worse than other people knew. I still can't believe it's coming from me. It's all such a mess. I mean, all of these are true. It's all such a mess. Except we really have hit rock bottom at the moment.
Aye. An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. but that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet.
Thanks for the yet. That was unnecessary.
I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had.
The giant robot Talos was really cool, you're right. Like, man, if I had let the world go back into rejoining...
Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it?
If I had let the world end, I wouldn't have been able to see, like, a giant cool robot. So, I'm gonna save the world again in case, you know, so there's some other cool things I can see. That's the only reason.
We never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burns so bright.
Death by Megazord is how I want to go. I mean, it certainly would be... certainly would be climactic. I mean, you'd hope, though, that it would be in some, like, final attack, like the big sword attack, and not just that the Megazord accidentally stepped on you. Because that would just be... that'd just be kind of disappointing.
That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then.
Don't leave him hanging. Just because we can't touch him.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence.
Oh, it's the
My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours.
It's the Fistbump of light. The only thing that can save us now.
I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish.
The power of Bro will indeed save us. We need to do the ultimate fist bump.
For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours.
Followed by the chest bump of light.
If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you.
We'll split the
If
goddamn
you lose
sky
control,
right
I'll do
open.
my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
Okay, but what are we actually doing?
I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie.
Hi, Theo.
what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you?
Please don't turn me into a hedge.
Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle. It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them.
I mean, it's an tempting offer. I could become king of the fairies. Which, you know, I mean, I've got plenty of other titles, but king of the fairies is pretty, I mean, that's pretty cool. But I'll probably say no, because I'm boring. Of course there's Final Fantasy Scotland.
What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion.
Oh. Some people don't like Feo's voice actor. Because I remember when it first came up, I was checking something, and there were lots of people who said, I hate this voice actor. I think he's great. But I was just checking something. Because I have a feeling... Because her name's Welsh. But yeah, she has I'm pretty sure she does have a Scottish voice actor. So I think that, yeah. I think people were expecting a Welsh voice actor. I can't remember what Yeah, anyway. I think also the Japanese voice was more high-pitched and they gave her quite a gravelly. But like I said, I really like her.
And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling. You are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment. At this time, in this place.
I'm in the Watchtower, in the Crystarium. Next question.
Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer.
Are you talking metaphorically, or do you want me to literally go and ask talk to the trees and flowers?
I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Okay, so again, I still don't know what I'm actually supposed to do about this situation. I've got kind of vague hints from both Arduin and Veo there. But my face is windy now, so that's good. Ankles! Hey, do you know anything about the Crystal Exarch? Oh no, you're not the right person. Hang on. There we go, this one. Oh, I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro. What about the Crystal Exarch? What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I'm happy to share, but I fear there be no surprising revelations. As only the city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion and many untold secrets. Also, he is a cat. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us, but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Ah. Okay. So... Can I go through here? No, okay. I still don't really know my way around the tower very well. I'm just going to fast travel. Walking takes too long. There's too many, like, staircases and walls. Let's go to the Curiosity Cabinet. So clearly, Graha's plan was we involved the Crystal Tower. Oh, was there something else you needed? If you've come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. And records pertaining to the Exarch. Well, I have this picture book. Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade had passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon after. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or Verberites fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Well, some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so like to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, to seem that his mystery remains unsolved to this day. Hey, salutations, Stratus. Good to see you. Glad you could join us for Final Fantasy Friday with friends. The unofficial title for these streams. We have felt the wind on our face, and we did the fist bump of light with the Warrior of Darkness. You've not missed much. And now I'm getting some gossip about Grahatia. Jack, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. Yes. Hello, Cassard, who I definitely remember. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, they'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Well, our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to go talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual post at the end Ascensa Gate. To Lena, then. I like Lena, so hopefully she's okay. That's one of the characters I do remember. Well, it's gonna be if I really like do figure out what I'm supposed to do on my own, it's gonna be doubly galling to my friends who have all set off to try and find like cures for me in different parts of the First. It's like, don't worry, we're here for you, the Warrior of Light. You won't bear this burden alone. It's like, no, it's alright, I solved it. Yeah, while you guys were gone, I figured out what to do. Cassard is the merchant who led you to Alisay. Ah, okay. That was a while ago, which is why I don't remember him. I get introduced to a lot of people. I feel like even in real life I would struggle to remember all these different people. Like, they just got to remember me. I'm iconic. He's just another guy. Lena, remember though, she's our bunny girlfriend. Jack, I was not told you had awoken. A welcome surprise. Now if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him, and so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. Look at my arm. In the moment before he left you to join in Colossus, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. Oh, it's a key, okay. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the Umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower. It sounds like it's the umbilical of the tower, to be honest. Until which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. It's a bit lower than the heart. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Vorthri loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Jack, I need to know that what he feared. What battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Okay, so... no. It's not that I don't want to tell you, it's just that it's a really long story, and it's pretty convoluted, and I gotta go back into, there's the thing with dragons, and like there's a crystal who might be there's a whole thing, just trust me. Forgive me, I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not there to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Yeah, can I have that key? Ah, I see I'm not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Yes. Not. Come, meet me in the ocular and I'll unlock the door within. I could give you the key to do it yourself, but I don't trust you, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong. You're a competent warrior, and my grandfather trusts you dearly. But you look like the kind of person who would lose a key, given like an important key. You have to look like the kind of person who would just either lose it or fumble it while standing over a grate and drop it into the sewer. Absolutely seems like a thing you would do, and it's like, understandable, either way. I always get, like, a pang of anxiousness when I park my car, and I open the car door and look down to see that I've parked it next to a sewer grate. And I'm like, oh man, what happens if when I try and get back into the car, I drop my car keys?
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter.
It was enough to make me go, should I move my car? Should I park somewhere else?
Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
You don't say a failure to prepare is to prepare for failure. It's just his man cave. Enter the car from the other side, hop over to the driver's seat. I could do that, but because I live in the UK, we all drive manuals, which means there's a stick shift, and you don't want to accidentally get caught on that moving from one seat to another.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee.
Okay.
Thy true name is Grahatia, then?
Oh, I'm pronouncing it slightly wrong, but that's fine. Yeah, I think
By
I
thy
pronounced
claims,
it.
Thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
Yeah, I pronounced it well enough that he realised that I knew who he was.
Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I really do not need this headache today.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity.
Enter from the other side, unlock the driver's side, get out and get into your driver's side without having to take out your keys. I mean, I have a button which just opens the door remotely. I don't need to, but it's just, I just get paranoid that in stepping over the grate, that somehow the key will fall out of my pocket, or I'll like be putting the key into the ignition, but then I'll be like, oh, I need to open the door for something, and in doing so, I'll accidentally throw the key into it. It's just the presence of the grate gives me anxiety that I will somehow throw my key down it. Look at Mr. Fancy Pants and his key fob. Hey, I drove a 21-year-old Ford Escort for much of the last decade. I drove it into its grave until they crushed it into a cube, and so trust me, it's really not that fancy.
Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend
It's not even
the
my
enormity
car.
of this tale.
I need to buy a new car. I've just been
Wouldst thou
borrowing this
favour
one
me
off
with
my
a
dad.
gradual unfolding of its chapters?
I need to buy a new car, and I will, unfortunately, given the amount of money I have, probably only buy a car which is slightly younger than the car which I drove into the ground.
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity, Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds.
Wait, does that mean I could time travel as well?
Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass.
Well, they are going to time travel. Well, they did time travel.
The fighting went on unabated. But some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Ah.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous.
I didn't have much else on. Saving the world kind of consumed pretty much every waking thought.
Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
So, yeah, I'll worry about it when it comes to it.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict.
Yes, the 8th Umbral Calamity is the Poison Cloud. I remember we discussed this a couple of weeks ago. So, and because you said that they needed this world to get consumed by light for the poison to work in the first. So in Garaha's time, he's still stuck in the tower, and then in the future he gets out, but the world's been destroyed. So now he's time travelled back to a different world, sat here for 100 years protecting the world, and has now then summoned me to change the future. I'm all over this plot at the moment.
The happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold.
Oh, okay, so he heard about all my exploits in Heavenswood and Stormblood through books, I guess.
For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights.
where I died in the future. I think the unbroken thread was very
And
much
so
broken.
it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga.
You're not wrong. I mean, I assume I'm going to die eventually anyway, regardless, just of, like of old age. So... But I suppose the thread continued through people's stories and memories. Yeah, for Tom's memoirs. I mean, yeah, that was explicitly the book that she was referring to.
He was the lodestar that brought them all together to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live.
I'm still so bummed out Edmund's VA died. I loved his narration so much. It's fine. We live in the future now. All you have to do is just load up all of his dialogue into an AI, and you can just get ChatGPT to do some more voice work. We can bring the dead back to life for free. We live in a horror movie.
I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Soon we'll have an entire film made with actors who are all dead. Just CGI'd and AI-generated voices to replicate them. And it will be... awful. But also inevitable.
Sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
I wonder if Ishtolo is still alive when Graha came out of the tower, because she's supposed to be like weirdly long-lived as well.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die.
Well, you did one of those two things. Actually, I don't know.
Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Yeah. I appreciate that you're simping for me, but unfortunately you didn't count on Sola showing up.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the Light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I mean, yeah, okay, great, it's going good, I'm going to go and rescue the Exarch, but I still don't really have a plan after that. I mean, is my plan to still let the Exarch absorb my light and then die? Anyway, I mean to have a few words with both Emmett and the Exarch. I'm going to give them both a slap.
Then we should be on our way. Dacian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
Now you're dead, so it's acceptable if you'd be a doom and gloom, but gee, cheer up, guy. Yeah. Just because you're dead, I mean the rest of us have to be. Hi. Did you find the answers you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I had some questions about the Tempest. The Tempest? That is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an armado to fly you over the waters, but... Bosh. Do you mean to leave right this moment, alone? I am not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow. I shall await your safe return. Again, here, it's like... I'm gonna go... the entire rest of this DLC is just me solving the problem on my own. And then I come back, and everyone's really mad at me because they're like, dude! Like, we have a link pearl. Just call us up and tell us what you're doing. Oh, I can't fast travel to the... Hang on. That one. Oh, wait, hang on. That's where I am. I thought that was somewhere else. I think if I go up these stairs... I really hate this area, this hub. It's still really kind of confusing, and to be fair, I still get confused with getting around in Limpson sometimes, just because I fast travel everywhere. Hogged the XP again. Yeah. I'm gonna come back level 85, and they're all like 78, and they're like, "Dude, now we're not. You're too far away from us now. We're not gonna get as much XP. The game's gonna think we're power leveling, and we're not gonna get as much XP if we go into dungeons together again." You acquire Armado. Just a moment. I shall saddle our swiftest beast to fly you to the island, the open water, to the depths of the Tempest. Our Armado can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor, you would need to tie concrete or weights around their legs. Here you go. Do not let on to what you are doing to the Armado before you do it, though, or else we'll panic. Don't mind me. Just got a few cracks on my soul.
Ah, we have found thee.
Oh, busted. Hi.
Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste.
Yeah, I noticed there was an F that but I'd already started running
By
up the
thy
stairs.
looks,
by that
I
point.
gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Yeah, I'm on to you, Oriange.
Oriange has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'Twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
I just want to boop him on his nose and tell him to... I forgive you, let's go. I am a danger to those around me. No more lies. And I forgive you, let's go. Boop.
I thank thee. Doubt not but that I will do all in my power to repay thy kindness and fulfill the Exarch's wishes.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea.
Well, you are welcome to suggest another one.
Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianche. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alisaie, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched, high and low, for an answer. And every one of us came back empty-handed.
Yeah, it's been like 3 days. If we couldn't possibly find an answer in 3 days, we'll never find an answer ever.
I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
I just want to boop her on the nose too and just be like, it's fine. I'm the Warrior of Light. I'm in the next
We will go with you
DLC.
as well.
I'm not gonna die.
There is naught to be gained by standing still.
There's literally zero stakes here.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Though again, I said this before, it'd be a really ballsy move.
Is there aught we can do to help?
For Square to actually kill off your character, just because it's sort of like, we did it, see? And then from that point on, you have to play as basically like a John to Jack Marston situation. You have to play as an ancestor, like there's a 20-year time skip, and you have to, it's like Boruto. You have to play as your son or daughter, and you have all the same gear and equipment. You can make your character look exactly the same, but it's canonically not the same person.
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
They all knew.
You told them!
No. Well, not in so many words.
Okay, they didn't know. Lena just told them. Hey, they spelled Alisaie's name. They pronounce it Alisaie. Alisaie would be Alice-I. Oh, okay. I'm guessing it's a French name. Oh, I guess it would be, yeah. Lavelia. Yeah. The elves have all got French names. You've told me this before.
Aye, we
So they're not
didn't need it
pronouncing it
spelled
right.
out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. He's like, yeah, you guys, this mysterious guy in a pompadour and sunglasses showed up. Like I said, I'm iconic, I stick out. And suddenly the sky started getting dark every time he went outside.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared a homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive. And I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went out to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right!
I like how they had other characters that I think have had voice, like named characters, but instead they decided to have the gatekeeper say hi.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
Have you heard of a game called Triple Triad?
You might have invited them to join us, where they're not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O warrior of darkness?
Of course, the guy with the sunglasses on 24/7 is the guy with a problem with the perpetual sun. We've been over this. It makes more sense that everyone else should be wearing sunglasses. Like, they need to be. If everyone sets up a sunglasses stall in the first, they would absolutely rake it in. Do I get to choose? Defend the Crystarium until we return. Leave it to us. We'll see the exile home safe and sound. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That's like increasingly less heroic as I go down. Then I guess defend the Crystarium until we return. Let's inspire people for a change, rather than see them for how I truly am. Didst thou plan to commandeer an armado for thy journey to the open sea? I fear the following dive down to Emetsulk's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we consider the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet, ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closes above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. Let's go, that's fine. Get some oysters. Thine affairs are in order, then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fright freely. Yes. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words and explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Okay. Can I just ask Feo? Is she not a Fae folk? I remember this place. I remember this place. Orion seems to know our stamina quite well. It's legendary. It's time to duel! Isn't Captain Lena just the best? She was the reason I joined the guard. You know, I've always wanted to tell her that. And yes, I'll be damned if I don't get all nervous and clap every time she walks into the room. The other day, Thanker told me this card game, saying it'd be the perfect way to break the ice. But I just can't seem to figure out the rules. Any chance you could teach me? Yes, I shall teach you, but I'll have to charge the cost of 1 triple triad card. What rules? What? Dissension, swap, and chaos. Okay. I don't mind these rules. Haha. Dang it, give me a card. The Dango Pier, yes. I guess this is where I get my Lena card from. Do I have Lena? I don't know. Oh, that wasn't where I meant to put that. But I still won. No, give me your card. I know you're a beginner, and I'm like... I've got like half of all of the cards now, but give me. I need this Lena card. It's really creepy advice, by the way, that Orianchi gave this guy. He's like, oh yeah, here's this card game that you can use to break the ice that features a card of the person you're trying to break the ice with. That's not going to seem creepy at all. I can only get one of these either way. Come on, you got one card, just give it to me. Why does your card of me look sticky? Oh, now I don't want it. Oh, you made it weird. Well, weirder. Come on. This is the worst part about the triple triad thing. It's just the fact that they make you play like the same person over and over and over again, regardless of their difficulty, and then like just have the card as being like a really rare drop for no reason at all. There's no like fun benefit of the cards being of you having to do this. Just be, as soon as you beat them, make them a little bit harder, and then just as soon as you beat them, you get all the cards. That'll be fine. Oh, this sucks. Dang. Or, to be honest, I would be equally as happy if it was all just booster cards. Like it was just booster packs that you bought from the Gold Saucer. In hindsight, that's where I should have gone for that move. Never mind. That was bad. I made a mistake. Yeah, that was my fault. Come on, just give me a Lena card. I gotta go and I'm dying of light poisoning. I don't have time for this. That wasn't where I meant to go. So I won like the first 5 games and now I can't win. Aha. Oh no. Unless... I guess we'll get that one. Come on. Can I just beat this guy up? That's what you used to do if you wanted a Pokemon card off some kid and they wouldn't trade you. It's like, what do you mean you won't give me your Venusaur for these 2 Rattatas? I'm giving you 2 cards for 1. Learn to share. Draw again, come on. Can I beat this guy now? Well, at least I did one of my weeklies. Come on. Dang it! Why do I enjoy minigames so much? Drop rate on this Lena. So look at my triple triad tracker. Lena from Lamelin. 8.7%. It's not even that bad a drop rate. Well, that's red, so it's not necessarily an accurate drop rate. on, you stingy prick! See, Genshin, dare I say, had the right of it, I think. Because I mentioned that they've added a card game to Genshin. And the way it works in that is you have quests linked to the card game related quests. I'm not gonna win. This is bad. Card game related quests, and the quests give you coins, and then you use the coins to buy the cards. That makes way more sense. Just have a card shop, and then just have certain quests give you a special type of currency, which you can then use to go and buy cards. Rather than this nonsense. Because that's the other thing I'm looking forward to, I'm lying, is that when I finish Shadowbringers, I will unlock the... oh, dang it. I would unlock the... I can do nothing with this, so I guess I'll just protect this 5. Take the draw again. I'll unlock Dream Triple Triad packs at the Gold Saucer. And I've been saving my currency, because apparently you need to spend... The drop rates on some of the legendary cards and that are very poor. But we will, once I finish Shadowbringers, we will go to Gold Source and we will buy as many packs as we can and just open them and see whether I can get all of the cards that are in them. I can turn. No, I can't. That's an 8. That's a 5. I guess I can do that one. Get it on the draw. God damn it! My addiction to Triple Triad is literally crippling at this point. And it has halted progress. But I have to get it. Come on! No! You utter swine. This isn't helpful. I guess I'll stick it there. Yeah. Or, make it win 5 times. Would that be so bad? Haha. Come on. Dang it, I'm almost got my other weekly of winning 10 games as well now. I don't understand why they make the drop rates so low as well. It's the only way to get this card. It's not like it's like, oh, you can play this guy, or you can go and do a dungeon and get it. It's like, no, you have to play this person. They're the only way to get this card. That's probably the end of that attempt. Come on. Well, there's my other weekly. I normally go and do that weekly in the when I can be bothered. In the Gold Saucer, because there's another one for playing 10 matches in the Gold Saucer room. So I probably won't bother this week. Ugh, if I defend that one, I guess I'll just go there. Huh. Dang it. Come on. Yes! Just as planned. And no, still no friggin' card. Come on, Lamelin. Look, you know now that I'm the Warrior of Darkness. You know that I have to go and save the world. Stop holding time up. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, unfortunately we weren't quick enough to save the Exarch. Because fucking Lamelin had to hold on to his card of his waifu. Couldn't give it up couldn't give it up for the cause. Couldn't let the Warrior of Light have it. And oh yeah, sure, I mean maybe the Warrior of Light should have, you know, stopped playing card games in the first moment of need, but Lamelin's the real villain here. Come on. I'm at 12 wins now. With the drop rate, I should have got this. I mean, I guess this at least is less of a chore than trying to get one of the cards that drops in a dungeon, where you have to do an entire dungeon or trial each time for a roll at the card. That's gonna, when I eventually do get around to doing that, that is gonna be the worst. but I will stream it because misery welcomes company. Well, I can't get that one, so... I'm seriously going off you, Llama, then. I mean, I'm more so that I mean, I've already gone off with you. You've already upset the Warrior of Darkness. Do you know, I might just not save the source now, and it'll be your fault. You know, I might just let it go. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, that was a mistake. Can I fast forward a little bit? Just fast forward and turn on autoplay. This is what I do for all my MOBA games. Not MOBA games, mobile games. When I'm trying to, when I'm doing something like tedious. Ah. I think I'm doomed there either way. So yeah, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to finish Shadowbringers before Zelda came out. My confidence in that my confidence in that happening diminishes with each game I play of this. So yeah, I don't see it happening. Is the point. Get that one of those. $14 wins now. Annoyingly, I like Lena as well. So it's this is worse when you're trying to do this for a card that you don't even care about. But I do actually like Lena, so. This is worse than like a gacha game, because at least with a gacha game, you get something on every pull. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid and pointless. And yet I still managed to win. And yet I still don't have the card. Imagine if this is just the entire end of the stream. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. See, what I've learned is that the Lamlin's not very good. It's not very good, and will constantly miss like really easy grabs. So I don't have to play all that well. What it's making me do is do sloppy mistakes instead, and making this take even longer. I can't do anything with anything, so I might as well just protect. $16. Dumb too. Ah, dear. Dude, this is not an 8.7% drop rate. Finally! Ah, I lost. Well, that's a shame. The coach talked to Captain Lena at this rate. Plus, I lost her. I lost the cool custom triple triad card I made of her. Ah, and I got the achievement as well. Triple decker, which gives me the cryo card. Hooray! It was all worth it in the end. To me. Anyway, let's get out of here. What was I doing? We were going to a submarine or something? Wait, do I have unlock? No, I don't have flying unlocked here yet. I'm pretty sure I can get flying on a couple of these maps now, so I should really take the time to do a lap. But what I've started doing to save money is set my PS5 to shut down after an hour. And what happens is when I normally finish streaming Final Fantasy X, I'll leave the PS5 running, and then like go through some other stuff. Like I'll upload the VOD to YouTube and I'll check Twitter and everything and see what's been happening whilst I've been streaming. And then by the time I get back to the PS5, it's normally turned off because it's been an hour. And then it's like, well, I can't load it back up and log back in again. I'll do it next week. And so it never gets done. And there are a lot of quests on these Dango Islands. Hope I can. I reckon I can get on shore. Yeah, I should be right. Taking the straight line A to B approach to my objective. I don't see our submarine. Hey, Ranjay. Sorry it took me so long to get here. I got lost. There, to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Soon coil it close, and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. Oh. Orianche's a devil fruit user. Put out a, speaking of One Piece, they put out a, I don't know, call it an announcement signed by Oda talking about how they are now in sync. And it's like, okay, so you weren't in sync before then? And talking about how, like, you know, this is probably the only, given Oda's age, this is probably the only time he'll be able to see like a proper live action adaptation of One Piece in his lifetime. So he wants to make sure it's right, and that he's been butting heads with the directors. And so we all want to make a good product. So we're now all on the same page. And it's like, what this screams of is that you hated the version that they were working on, and you shouted at them until they changed it. Which, you know, it's fine. He is the creator. And I suppose it means that even if it does turn out badly, at least they can say, well, look, we adhere to the creator's wishes. You know, we wanted to adapt a few things, and he said, no, do it this way. Two curved slabs of rock seem squeezed together, giving the impression of giant stone eyelids. Oh, is this a... Oh, this is like a turtle or something. We're gonna ride a giant turtle. It appears solid. The rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? No, it's a giant turtle. Now we have to embark on a 5-part quest to collect enough herbs in order to rouse the turtle from its slumber or something. I need to go to 8 different dungeons to collect the 8 instruments of the wind turtle. Ah, there you are. Once you've completed your underwater investigations, the path here leads to the top of the island. Oh, okay. I thought maybe he'd say something cooler. Weird. If you've solved Oriange's little mystery, then you can find him further up the slope. 'Twas all rather obvious to my eyes, though I concede I have an unfair advantage. Yeah, you can see that it's not an island. You can see that it's alive. Oriange! Why are we on a turtle? Well... Hast thou discerned? It reminds me of a certain primal. It's just like the big one. Yes, yes. Ha! Thine impression is not inaccurate. According to the law of the Pixies, we are even now perched upon the back of an ancient fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the source. Oh yeah, the windfish! We never did anything with that. We saw it in one cutscene, or maybe we did, and I've forgotten. Yeah, so my comparison to the windfish from Nick's Awakening was apt. I would enlist its aid to bear us into the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh. As it most surely shall. Now I must needs ask for silence while I make my supplication. It's like, wake up, turtle! Opens a box of pizza and starts wafting it near its nostril.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail.
I feel like it should be like... It's just like, we can't hear you underwater, Bismarck. Please lift your head.
Fallen si lor wislan. Ada si alinal.
Van urs atslir. Olfod thim. Iri guath thi.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
We need fail all. King of the Fairies, tell this turtle to help us out.
Oh, my snake yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers Bismael win picked. Van dromi drom jakum. Van red rithje.
Oh, fine.
Ahai una sa hawin ulsk. Isne rim sor vierlo.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
Yeah, we'll tell the people back at the Crystarium. You need to craft a giant toothbrush, don't ask questions.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
Lo fallo ruis. Van in narsitar. Dir sitagnai.
Okay. So the turtle can get us there and can get us down there, but still only like a handful of us can breathe underwater. Or are we gonna like climb inside the turtle or something? Oh no, it is a whale! Oh okay, so I've been calling it a turtle. It's just a straight up whale, same as the one in the source. Okay, no, it's a windfish then. It looked turtly. Well, it was, you know, down.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
I bet it goes past behind him.
What the? Do you see that?
No, okay, he does get to see it then. So, whoa!
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
What a monster! What incredible beauty! Well, is that wave? Is that wave getting bigger? It's. Oh God! Sound the tsunami warning! Sound the tsunami alarm! We're all gonna die! Oh, I was joking.
Whoa, yeah! It's not stopping. Run! Run!
I was gonna say there's a big dude and he impacted the ocean quite quickly. Well, we've killed all of the dock workers that helped us out, so that's good.
Funne. Aktva von Jasne. Tagnai.
So it's like, well, I mean, they're all here, but they did all die. It's just like, well, this is boring. I'll resurrect all of them. It's fine.
Wow.
Just thousands of dying
The breath
fish
of Bismarck.
flopping about on the floor.
See how
Going,
it
where did all
swells
the water
from
go?
the dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
Alright. Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived at the Tempest, safe and dry. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emmett Silk, and I believe the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee into the rift, yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serves as the key to the Crystal Tower, and its powers of temporal transportation. It does make you wonder then why he doesn't just kill him. Thus, I am all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. By the way, I've made oysters. Have to. Inland leave the area, speak with the Newell at Venant Yards in Calusa to return to the Tempest. Well, that's fine. I think there's an Etherite shard down here somewhere. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmett Selleck would be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then. But watch your footing. The ground is still wet, and I'd like to be slippery. Well, I don't like it to be slippery. But understood. I shall get my bird. My bird is useless. Who would have thought that my bird would be so ineffective underwater? Close to 83. Do you know what? You know, there's oysters a second ago. Oysters on the half shell. Let's have a little nom. Get that well-fed bonus. Get that extra 3% XP. Yeah, these underwater monsters are doing awfully well considering they were, you know, thousands of meters below the water until like a second ago. And it's like, well, I guess we breathe air now. Ondo Youth? Hello. Fancy meeting someone at the bottom of the floor? At the bottom of the sea. Run away! After him! Beat the answers out of him if you have to. guys even look like? That's a player. Oh, they're just Sahagin. Okay. The Humbless One, they followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Yeah. I mean, technically. So this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Please, sir, what are we to do? So, well, I know we need the water to breathe and keep our skin wet, but it is nice not having to worry about everything getting all damp and soggy all the time. Are you emissaries of the Ancient One? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. Then we are the emissaries. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? No. It would seem not. Okay. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Selk's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return. We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Jack, do you remember my first scheme for entering Eilmore? I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative training opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow suddenly did leave us many options. If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. Tis plain our all too dramatic arrival have thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve problems such as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. How many problems should we solve? Oh, about 3, you know, the standard. I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tale ends up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Asians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. Let's do what we do best. 3 chores for a group of strangers, so that they'll like us and trust us. Exactly 3, no more, no less. Then it is settled. Ishtola, pray proceed with investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. We just go around and asking Yonder, and they're like, can you bring the water back? And it's like, no. It's like, can you bring the water back? And it's like, no. Okay. Do you need any help? Can you lift that box? Yes. And then can you bring the water back? Like, if you sucked all the air out of the place I was with, and I was like, is there anything I can help you with? I'd be like, yeah, air, please. Give me the air back. And Jack, you wouldn't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Pash Owen, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Eilmore. I waited and you did not come, and the missile came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry, Pash Thorin. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps. Where did I return? A cave to the north was home to giant crabs. We don't fear the crab. We are the swiftest swimmers. But now there is no water. We run. And we are not the swiftest runners. And this scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. Ah, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Jack? If you've not found a task where you're most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company, where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. Cool. It could be up some crabs. Like though, like we like drained the water in this place maybe like half an hour ago, and this guy's like, yeah, the crabs keep chasing after us when we go near it. And it's like, how many times have you been to that cave in the 30 minutes since we've drained the water? It's like, oh, like 9 times. So what I do, being on the bottom of the ocean is really dull. It's mostly upsetting wildlife for entertainment. That's pretty much all we do. Amphibious Biena. Oh, my controller batteries are low. That's fine. I got a new cable today. Got my plug and play kit for my Xbox controller, but it came with the wrong cable. But which is fine because I can just use the cable from the old one. But the wrong cable is a good fit for fits my PS5 controller. The cable for which I have misplaced. So one would describe that as fortuitous. Let's go, Augustus. Augustus is like, I'm here. What? Are we underwater? Again. I don't mind, but it's just, it's weird that it's happened so many times. Again, do you want us to defeat all of the crabs? No, exactly 3. Three should be exactly enough to cull the population down. Who can crack their shells? You must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I should never be your equal in such tasks. No, I'm like 20 years older than you as well. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Pastor, this was to be part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came and it said that our ancestral home was found in the seas of the south, it was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long have they stood under the water. yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters, and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this did they discern the truth. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary, until such a time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming, in this great vanishing of water, was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder how will the significance, or otherwise, of our arrival be decided. The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us to shame, there will be no doubt in the matter. And then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. To kill the crabs. We'll genocide the entire race. We thank you for the lesson, Pashtun, and we'll continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand, only do not try to overexert yourself, my friend. The risks far outweigh the gain. I've downed all of my energy drink, and it is proving to be ineffective. Keeping me awake. Jack, have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Where is she? This way. There is a distressed Ondo here, but that's not my problem. Unless it becomes my problem. I mean, I'm lucky that the one side quest you need to do in order to do like weaponsmithing and endwalkers is the one side quest I've done. But if there's plenty of side quests I've skipped, so I could imagine they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you need to go and do this entire side quest chain from the beginning of A Realm Reborn." Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations. Okay. They really like this mechanic, don't they? There's a distinctive window. Tall, slender tower features many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. Okay, they have nice windows. They've been locked up. They've been locked up like. Wait, what are they? Oh, there you go. Let's scrape this off. Ooh, the mithril knife. Someone's doing alright for themselves. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. Ishtola, one of two things has happened. Either this place is made out of incredibly powerful materials, or the light cancer I have is sapping my strength, and I can't. can't break it. And what have you discovered? There's a window, and it's made out of solid stone. Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. It would seem the structures appear to be the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. Jack, everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had to investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Nordvand, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emmett Selk withdrew here to the Tempest. I mean, surely it's just because it was underwater and he thought it'd be difficult to get here. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I said. But there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Emmett Selk is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of Stronghold somehow serves the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Are you saying this place was built by ancient Ascians? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before his history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they might have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Katana Revel. Elmet presented it to me during my visit to Fano after our victory in Colusia. There was a lot of different place names there, I hope you've been paying attention. Here, in the first scene, by Emmett Selk's own words, it depicts a city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, naught more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south have no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. View the Katana Revel mural any time. Alright, thanks. Find a structure resembles those in the copy of the Katana Revel mural, then inspect it from the survey point. Oh, I thought you should have us follow me for some reason. It's Augustus. In this crevice. In this crevasse. Oh. I found that a little bit. You know, I wanted to go a bit later tonight, but I am properly nodding off as I talk. When I was running to that last survey point, I properly just like zoned out for a second. And then, so, okay, you might have picked up a slight confusion where I was like commenting on something that I think I was thinking, but I wasn't saying out loud. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep my eyes on. I'll finish this quest though. I don't like to leave in the middle of a quest. But I've drunk an entire can of Rockstar and it's done naught to keep me spry. Kinda? Aye, this is the mirror writ large. If you say so. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder. Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins. Settled. Send the countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon relates to the Ancient's return. Thus, can we surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization? And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than FFXIV himself? 'Tis almost certain he is here. But if we define this stronghold in timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. I hit level 53. 83. Gotta be awful if I was at 53. It's so annoying that we've not gone back to... I like it when there's a quest next to the fast travel point. Let me just have a quick look, see where we're at on the Shadowbringers. Oh, I actually don't think I can do this quest. I mean, I guess we'll start it, but I don't think I can finish it. I think this is the one... You must have completed one of the 4 road quest lines to complete the Light of Inspiration. Yeah, I think what'll happen is I guess we'll do it up to the point where it says no, and then we'll stop, and then next week we can do the role quests. Well, not next week, but next time. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I'd like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Pash Oons again and ask if there's naught else he is willing to divulge. Let's do that. Yeah, I've been, I'll do it. But I was waiting to hit level 80 because I needed to be level 80 to do all of them anyway. And then I hit 80 and I just carried on doing the main story. But now I have to go and do them. Oh, no, friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. You killed 3 crabs. Well done. It's almost enough for us to forgive you taking away our oxygen. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? Are they the ruins to the northwest? Yes, that is the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps were guided there by the ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a sinless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grenold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Ah, Grenold. How convenient that the guy that was just mentioned for the first time earlier is the guy that's now going to help us out. Hey, will you trade with me? Yes. I actually have 12. So I can actually, get stuff. However, he doesn't have anything that I want that I can afford. I mean, the riding map would be nice, but it's 70 crystals. Otherwise, no. Well then. Is he this way? Where is he? He's this way. Yeah, I think I was bored, so I did a fate at some point, like last week, or sometime before we played last, and just got a few crystals for the pleasure. Hello. This is a cool submarine underwater base thing that you've built. Oh, that's just great, that is. My mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Greno, someone's come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Oh, might be as a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade. Feast yourself on me rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman who can't craft is more pointless. A sea slug with a doming hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Granite appears to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Maybe you can help psych him up. This is, I think, what actual therapists do. Is they just go, you can do it! I believe in you! You can do this! You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would ye, spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the netherworld. Hi. Have we met before? Maybe as we cross paths back in the Crystarium, but I don't reckon we've been formally introduced. Name's Grenold, and this here's meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I can give myself over to me work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand. Now what's so damned important that you drive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding Tempest to bother me? Trying to track down an ancient god to save the world. Ah, the Wanderer's lamp. Yeah, that's what I said. God's curse me empty head. I've not so much as made a start. Well, that is upsetting. I'm worthless than a sea slug. Worth less than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past, me workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have you? Bringing light to them ruins would be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I can't bloody well. Ah, my mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I've pissed away my last drop of inspiration. This guy is eccentric. Tell me you've got something to show me. Something that'll give me a muse or right good kick up the arse. I wonder what to honour the coming of the ancients, so their answering light's got to blaze with the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly's not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and a sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Ah, am I going to do the fist bump of light with the Warrior of Light? Granite seeks a particular kind of inspiration, the kind that crystallizes only at the culmination of a long and tragic tale. Oh, this is what he wants. Complete any of the royal quest lines available at the Wandering Stairs in the Crystarium, then return to Grenold once more. Okay, so I do the royal quest, and then I shall get a inspiring something, which I can show to Grenold. So we shall stop there, and then we will go and do the royal quests, which I think Let's see, range DPS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 quests, role quests to do. And then once we've done that, it's finished the Light of Inspiration, and it's only 4 quests and we're done with Shadowbringers. So, I mean, maybe? I don't know how long. I mean, the number of quests means nothing. 10 quests could be, like, 3 hours, or it could be 10. It's in Final Fantasy XIV. There's literally no way of knowing until we start doing it. I reckon there's probably, like, maybe 2 streams left of Shadowbringers, but we shall see. I think my plans to finish this before Zelda are unlikely at this point, so I'm not going to try to worry too much about that. So let's just say no Final Fantasy next week because I'm going to be playing Zelda on Friday. I'm going to be doing an all-day stream. I've got the day off work. Booyah. And then maybe we'll play some more the following Friday. Maybe after a week of Zelda, I'll want a break. And some Final Fantasy will be ideal for that. So 2 weeks for us to continue, for us to go and do the class quests. And then, yeah, I think, like I said, 2 more quests, I reckon we should be able to finish Shadowbringers. And then it's on to and then all we've got left to do after that is the post-Shadowbringers quests, then Endwalker, and then the post-Endwalker quests. And then we're all caught up. We're getting there. We're getting there. Eventually. Providing there's not too many triple triad NPCs along the way. It shouldn't take us more than like a year, I think, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we'll stop there. Like I said, I am nodding off. I was going to go for a little while longer because I started late, but I am a lot more tired than I thought I was. So we'll stop there. And we'll be back in Star Wars Jedi tomorrow. I reckon I'm going to try and finish Star Wars over the weekend. So I'll try and start at sort of 6-ish tomorrow, maybe, and then see where we are when I stop, and then maybe do a longer stream on Monday because it's a bank holiday, and I got the day off. Our country has the day off work for the King's coronation, which I have 0 interest in. So I will be I'll be quite happy to play video games instead. So maybe we'll do a long stream on Monday, try and finish off Star Wars. Then we'll do maybe a couple of one-offs during the week, and then Zelda for like the next month. Like literally, I'm not kidding. We're going to be playing a lot of Zelda because I friggin' love Breath of the Wild. So if I see you then, I will see you then. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching. Have a night. Doesn't have to be good, just so long as you have it.